Okay, welcome to Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. As always, it's Caleb and
Jeremiah.
jump right into things. We had a thunderous week of WWE programming entertainment. So we start with Monday Night Raw, where Sami Zayn would come out. He claimed he was not leaving the ring until Adam Pearce came out and gave him what he wanted. And well, eventually Adam Pearce did. What did you think of this? And what do you have for us on the unsanctioned match against Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber? How do you think that one's going to go?
One of the things I love about Sami Zayn is his promo work. He's always just, there's so much emotion. There's always so much there when he delivers. You know, you feel that passion. You get behind him. And, you know, whether he's the underdog, and I've been saying this situation, the underdog, but Adam Pearce did not want to give it to him because of injury. And he's going to get Kevin Owens in an unsanctioned match. And I'm telling you what, man, I can't wait. I mean, help me out. It's the first unsanctioned WWE match in a long time, to my knowledge.
We've not had one in a while. Some of the more memorable unsanctioned matches really include the Heartbreak Kid. If you think about it, against Triple H, against Chris Jericho. So, like you said, we have not had an unsanctioned match in quite some time here in the WWE, but we're set for one at Elimination Chamber. Quick prediction, do you have Sami Zayn getting revenge, or do you have Kevin Owens proving why he's this unstoppable force, this psychopath he's been on this wall?
I have to go with KO. I think Adam Pearce's warnings were very much justified, and I like Sami, but I don't think you want to be in this type of environment with Kevin Owens where he can do whatever he wants to do to you and face no consequences.
He's a very dangerous man. I think I'm with you on that one. Next up, we had AJ Styles beat Dorothy Dominic Mysterio. But even after the match, we saw Braun Breaker come out. He ended up spilling Dorothy Dom. What did you think of this? What do you think of Braun Breaker coming out? Do you think it's setting up for a possible Braun Breaker versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title?
I think so. I think we're getting there. We might see maybe more of that tomorrow night on Raw. Might be hinted towards. But yeah, Braun Breaker's sit down. You know, told AJ he's the old. He's the old god. He needs to be taken out back, and he's the future of this company. Braun Breaker is. TV match, awesome match. Dominic Mysterio, we know he can go. I think it was a nice match. Good opponent for AJ Styles. Get back in with him. Has it? Heck, he has it in almost a year, pretty much. Because in October he didn't even finish the match. He got injured. So, besides Rumble, I think that was a great match. Kind of get throwback thing for AJ Styles. Carlito tried just to no avail. But I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with Braun Breaker and Styles. But did Braun Breaker make an enemy of a Judgment Day by taking out Dorothy Dom with that spear?
That's very possible. Also be interesting to see something. I'm not sure exactly when it happened because they don't have a lot of backstage things, but we did see a little seems like ascension in the Judgment Day. It seems like they are not on the same page right now. It seems like Finn Balor thinks he's the leader, Liv thinks she's the leader, and it looks like Finn Balor is kind of seeing Dom and Liv on the outs of Judgment Day. What do you think about that? Do you think Finn's going to leave the Judgment Day, or try to get Liv and Dom, maybe Raquel too, exiled out of the Judgment Day?
That's a very interesting point. There is most definitely a distinction there. Like you said, Finn believes he is. Liv believes she is. Raquel's on Liv's side. They both try pacify Finn in a sense. Dom, I'm not really sure where he stands right now because I think Liv's kind of mad at Dom too. But he keeps saying no new members. So either he sticks to that or there's going to be a surprise new member that they're not going to see coming that Finn's had in mind all along. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, there's most definitely dissension in the Judgment Day.
Yes, for sure. Next up, we had Dakota Kai winning a number contenders match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship by defeating Ivy Nile and then a stare down between Dakota and Valkyria. What did you think of this match? Thought was underrated match.
Yeah, same. We know what Dakota can do. I think Ivy Niles improved her game. I think she's gotten better in the ring. And yeah, I'm with you. Underrated match. A nice win for Dakota. And stare down. I mean, I can't wait for that rematch. I believe it's tomorrow night. I mean, it was an awesome match when you crowned the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. So I can't wait to see him win it back again. But I also have this question for you, though. because so far, to my knowledge, on TV, Chelsea has not defended against anyone besides Michin, and now Valkyria's first title defense is going to be against Dakota. So when do you think we'll see possibly new matches, new challenges for these titles?
That's interesting. That's a good question because, like you said, we've seen the same. It seems like a lot of the other women are still focused on the one title when there is more. So it'll be interesting. I think around WrestleMania, after Chamber's over, I think you're going to possibly set up for some big, maybe women's U.S. and Intercontinental one, or maybe both, like a big match, like say a Fatal 4-Way or 6-woman ladder match or something like that. But I think you're going to start bringing in more contenders after we see, because right now you have the Chamber, there's still a lot of eyes on Rhea Ripley. But now once you know you can't have Rhea Ripley if you don't win that Elimination Chamber, you have to set your eyes to another title.
That's true. You have to get on that WrestleMania card. That's true. Right now, we know Tiffany's taken. And like you said, right now, 6 women will be fighting to get Rhea Ripley. So we'll see where like you said, where their eyes go after that spot's been
May
taken.
even form a tag team because it looks like Liv and Raquel could possibly challenge Naomi and Bianca. So be interesting to see where that goes.
That's true.
Next up, we had a Jey Uso promo. Well, Gunther would come down through the fans and he would insult the fans, and then he would go after like a personal attack. It seemed like on Pat McAfee, and then when he was doing that, when it looked like he was about to strike Pat McAfee, that's when Jey Uso would come out and a huge brawl ensued. Gunther retreated. What did you think of this?
Fine, it was interesting. We've seen a different kind of like personality trait from Gunther, even attempting to do the yeet, come down, say that call him simple, say don't take much to excite my fans, cut up city classic hill stuff from Gunther. And again, yeah, it did seem like a vendetta towards Pat because I think we know Pat's enthusiasm and excitement for Jey Uso's entrance. So I think Gunther is jealous because no one does that for him, and he's going to bully and he's going to give up. But Jey Uso was not having it and going after him again. Security breaks you up, but eventually there's going to be no security at WrestleMania. These two are going to go at it again.
Speaking of that, being very interesting, and like you said, eventually security's not going to be able to keep breaking you up. We'll most definitely see them go at more and more. Very interested to see where you think where this is going. So next up, we had Penta defeat Pete Dunne. After the match, we would see Ludwig Kaiser once again come out after Penta, but a brawl ensued between him and Pete Dunne. And then Penta would take them both out by diving over top. What did you think about where is this going?
That's a very good question. We've seen Penta, pick up victories over both men. Pick Pete Dunne again. And yeah, it's a very interesting rivalry because, there's not the title at stake. It's just maybe, 3 men try and work their way up on the card. And I saw today Adam Pearce made a triple threat match official for tomorrow night, so all between these 3 men. So we're going to see how that goes. But I think it's just try and move up the ladder myself. These right now, you think you go, you have a good show, and you win this triple threat match. You might be in line for it. They're no title shot. Might be going after Braun Breaker, or just move yourself up. And we know the talent of all 3 individuals.
Especially, I think like Penta's on this huge ride, this upward momentum ride. No one has beat him pinfall or submission since debuting in WWE. You have to think if you're Pete Dunne or you're Ludwig Kaiser, that beating him or winning a match he was in would raise your stock like huge.
Exactly, most definitely. You said he's in WWE. He is undefeated. He has this hot streak. If you're Pete Dunne or you're Ludwig Kaiser and you get that pin over Penta, your stock's raising up. Like I said, Intercontinental title match. You're moving up on the card, and I see that's I think that's what they're angling for. And Penta's just kind of caught the momentum right now with 2 targets.
That's true. Next up, we had Roxanne Perez defeating Raquel Rodriguez with help from Bianca and Naomi's interference, where they would best Liv Morgan on the outside and very, very much so distract Raquel and allow Roxanne Perez to hit the pop rocks for the win. She qualified for the Chamber, and going back to what we were just talking about, looks like this Liv and Jacal against Bianca and Naomi is far from over. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I'm with you there, and it's like we've seen it's still very vague. I mean, sure, that could be they could have taken out Jade, or they could have just been there that night when it happened. We really still don't know. They said that they would have not said that they take credit for it had they done it. So, character-wise, and them saying that, I still don't know. I still think there's a mystery in here somewhere. Well, maybe we'll see when Jade gets back, but as for right now, yeah, they cost Raquel a spot in the match. Liv lost her heavy in the match. And yeah, it's most definitely far from over. But 3 of the 4 women are in the Elimination Chamber match this Saturday night.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be very interesting as well. Next up, we had the New Day come out and brag on what they did to Rey Mysterio. They said not only did they ruin him from qualifying for the Elimination Chamber, but they took him out. And then that would raise the attention of the LWO. You would have Wild and Cruz come out, and a brawl would ensue, and New Day, of course, would retreat because New Day does not want this fight right now with a very highly motivated LWO.
And of course they don't. They've their actions with Big E, a lot of people, did not like that. A lot of people turned their backs on the New Day for those actions, feeling like they turned their backs on their best friend. Rey Mysterio was a very outspoken figure in all that, kicking them out of the locker room. They have not liked that. They've retaliated every chance they got. The LWO is hot. And Adam Pearce also made official for tomorrow night, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro against the New Day. So that should be very awesome.
That's a story to watch. We're seeing Monday Night Raw is building stories. It's storytelling. We're seeing each week, each program is going to something towards the next or towards the pay-per-view. I don't know about you, but I really like that.
Yeah, me too. I love to see, like you said, it's going towards something. It's not empty storytelling. It's not, oh, this happens one time and then it's gone. And we saw that before in the old regime of you'd be teased things, it'd go a little bit, then it'd just be scrapped and it'd act like it never happened. And as a viewer and as a fan, that's, like insulting our intelligence. But now, like you said, everything's leading to something. I love to see this direction the review is currently on.
Next up, we had what I thought was one of the best matches of the week, and I'm saying this because it'll most definitely be a candidate for match of the week. We had a match where Seth would beat Finn Balor clean. No interferences, no nothing, just straight up. Seth beat Finn 1, 2, 3 in the ring for an amazing match, and Seth's going to the Elimination Chamber. What did you think of this match?
Oh, yeah. Again, I mean, like we've talked about since these qualifying matches, pay-per-view caliber matches, this one was a main event pay-per-view caliber match, like you said. Clean, no interference, great back and forth match, and in the end, some of also Seth Rollins was just a better man. It was great match. The momentum's most definitely in Seth Rollins' corner right now. That wave he's riding heading into the Elimination Chamber, and yeah, man, this chamber is just off the chains. I cannot wait to watch both men and women's chambers.
Both very star-studded. Now we head to NXT. NXT would start off hot. On NXT, we would see our NXT World Champion. We would see Obafemi come out. He would be confronted by Impact Wrestling's X Division champion, Moose. What do you think of this one? And were you surprised to see Moose, the X Division champion, start NXT by confronting Obafemi?
Yes, I was. And an awesome surprise it was. I mean, we talk about what Shawn Michaels has done with NXT and give him props. Now you have this TNA agreement. And we'll talk about that later on, too, with another thing that's coming next week. But you see this, and it's just, you never know what's going to happen. NXT is like just a very hot show to watch right now. I mean, the unpredictability, Moose, if you've seen us, I'd recommend just, if you haven't, watch some of his Impact stuff. For Man's a Beast. If you're listening to this, we know you know who Obafemi is. And that is a dream match right there. And not possible if there's not this partnership between WB and TNA, which has been awesome for us fans. I do say so myself.
I agree with you 100%. These next couple matches, this one and then the one after this, as some consideration for match of the week. I'm just saying it before we talk about them. Next up, we had Carmen Petrovic defeat Jada Parker and Kalani Jordan, and we would see a lot of anger and like resentment against each other between Kalani and Jada, and I think that impacted the match a lot, despite Ashanti impacting the match to help Petrovic pick up the victory, but I also think just the hatred that these two women have for each other, I think that impacted the match too. What do you think of this big triple threat? And we know Carmen Petrovic, as you keep talking about next week, this NXT will take on Stephanie Valcour.
Yeah, you're correct. They got a little blind, I think, caught up in each other. They didn't even really remember or think Carmen was too much of a factor in this match, the hatred these two women have for one another. Jada had the match won, but instead of capitalizing, she'd start high stepping, she'd start showing off. Shanti, who is a veteran, he's been around for a while now, picked the spot, threw her in there, and helped guide her to the biggest win of her career. So I mean, yeah, now she gets a chance against Stephanie Valcour next week for that North American Championship, and Shantae's gonna have to pull out a lot to try to help her victorious in this one. Stephanie does not take her eye off of the game. She's very much motivated on that vein at that time of what she's doing.
Very true. We saw her overcome fatal attraction by herself. So you're right, it'll be interesting to see what the Shanti throws away. Next up, we had Zarya and Soruka defeat Jacal Jackson and Lash Legend. I thought this was an underweighted but really good tag team match. What did you think of this one?
I'm with you there. I mean, we talked about before what Jacal and Lash can do, but yeah, now Soruka and Zarya, this impromptu tag team has been working out really well. We see there's that kind of conflict between them. Zarya's more no holds barred. Soruka's still just kind of, face, kind of, keep things, in that clean way. But they seem to gel quite well together and picked up a victory over an established tag team in NXT, which very awesome showing for them.
Next up, we had the contract signing of now Ricky Saints. But it wasn't just a contract signing. It was interrupted by All Ego Ethan Page. Javon Evans would come out, and they would fight through the crowd. Then, when we thought that was it, and Ricky Saints was about to sign his contract, he was interrupted by Wesley. It would lead to a big tag team match next week. Ricky Saints and Javon Evans against Ethan Page and Wesley. But what did you think about this contract signing, and what do you think the future holds for Ricky Saints on NXT?
Well, very fun contract signing. I mean, like I said, we have feeling so many factors all going into this. All Ego and him have a history in AEW. So, of course, he's going to, any chance he gets, Ethan Page is going to come out and brag on himself, boast on his accolades in NXT. And Wesley, is going to take another, getting a shot to make his way to the top, make a name for himself. And I think, first off, I just want to say, a lot of people I saw, still happy for a name change, but that happens. But just remember, Kevin Steen to Kevin Owens, he's doing great right now. You think of Kevin Owens now, and everyone's complaining Walter to Gunther. And I could even think now of Walter being the World Heavyweight Champion. I just think of Gunther. So it's a nice homage to his hometown, and especially, football fans in New Orleans, they love the Saints. It's a huge following. So I think Ricky Saints is going to catch on. And yeah, I mean, look, already the personality, just on the promo and on the contract signing. We haven't even seen him, step foot in Ring 2S yet. So I think sky's the limit for myself.
Yes, 100% there. Next up, we had Sean Spears take on Shannon Stacks Lorenzo. I thought Shannon's anger got the best of him. I don't think he was fully focused. This match was kind of all Sean Spears.
Yes, it was. Like I said, that anger got the best of him. A veteran in Spears taking advantage of it. And to my knowledge, I believe this is Sean Spears' first match in a while since the injury. Since we saw the arm sling on him. So he looks like he's back, firing on all cylinders. And yeah, it's far from over. But where's Tony D'Angelo's? I want to know. His boy went out there, tried to, get some payback. It didn't work out.
Next up, we had Eddie Thorpe against Andre Chase. What did you think of this match? And is it just me, or is Eddie Thorpe on a really, really good career run right now?
Oh, he is. I mean, you've talked about just, elevating your game. You look back at going into Deadline. He was taken out. We found out he took him, faked it. Said he have to go through the match, but he still got his chance at world title. He shocked us, like we said last week, by beating Trick Williams. Andre Chase is on a downward spiral right now, career-wise. and Eddie Thorpe just took advantage. He go to the into the match, beat an established name, former champion, tag team champion in NXT. Yeah, he is. He's on a career one right now, but Trick's not done with him. We saw that afterwards.
That's true. Next up, we had a huge 6-woman tag team match. It was the debut of Jordan Grace wrestling-wise, besides the Royal Rumble. On NXT, we saw Jordan Grace with Stephanie Valcourt and Julia against Fatal Attraction. This, again, is another one up for match of the week. What'd you think of this match?
Oh, awesome showcase. Just, we talk about, you establish, the big stars that Julia is, Stephanie Valcourt is, the women's singles champions in NXT. Jordan Grace, the sky's the limit for her. Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley just lost the championship Saturday night. She's already back. They're trying to make an impact, trying to get back in the title picture, take, assaulting people and just trying to make their way back up the top. They're all great workers, and awesome match, great chemistry between all 6 women. I mean, it went by flawlessly, and a great way for Jordan Grace to have that official under contract NXT debut, I think.
Yes, me too. I agree. We started SmackDown off with a huge match, just big like fight feel. We had Jimmy Uso against Drew McIntyre, and surprisingly, Jimmy Uso would pick up the victory. What do you think of this match? And can Jimmy try to get on that career trajectory that Jey Uso is? Is his stock going up? He picked up a huge win over Drew. What's next for Jimmy, do you think?
I agree with you. Awesome match. It is a big win for Jimmy. It might be his biggest singles win I can think of at the moment over Drew McIntyre. And I believe so. I believe Jimmy is carving his own path now. I mean, like you said, a big win there, but he has been a consistent presence on SmackDown all year. Big Jim's been killing it. Back and forth with Carmelo, a huge win over Drew. I feel bad for anyone in the chamber now because Drew's just getting madder and madder. He's going to unleash that wrath on someone, and we did kind of see a little bit on Jimmy after the match as well.
That's true. Next up, we had R-Truth and Louisiana Knight, as R-Truth would call him, against the new team of Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. And I don't know if they're going with this, but if they are, I like it. I like the cocky, arrogant team of Carmelo Hayes and The Miz. But they would pick up the victory with Shinsuke's distraction of LA Knight over Truth in LA Knight. What do you think of this match? And do you think we'll see more of Carmelo and Miz teaming up?
I think we will, myself. I think The Miz is trying. It's a very interesting dynamic, too. We've seen, the face and utter face one and team up, and sometimes one doesn't, or we've seen face hill. But this is 2 hills that one's trying to make the effort, and the other one wants to stay as far away from me as he can. It worked. Louisiana Knight was great. R-Truth was just always, promo-wise and funny. Always great. LA Knight's going to take a fight when he can. So, there's no problem stepping in there. And, they picked up the win. And, I think it'd be an awesome addition to SmackDown's loaded tag team division.
I do, too. Next up, we had Tiffany Stratton beating Candice LeRae after the match. Nia would get the jump on Stratton. Trish Stratus would come out, try and help make the save, but just Nia was too strong and too powerful. They would leave Trish and Tiffany laying, and then Charlotte would come out and gloat again. Well, she was on commentary, but she would gloat over top of Stratton once again, telling her that title's hers at WrestleMania. What'd you think of this match? And it's looking more and more like that title could be Charlotte's at Mania. She's not wrestling, and Stratton's been taking some beatings from Nia Jax.
It's true. Charlotte's very paced herself, very sneaky, very behind the scenes right now. Tiffany has to put Nia behind her. She has the help of Hall of Fame with Trish Stratus. Should we look to do that at the Elimination Chamber? But awesome match. I think Candice is very underrated, just as far as overall talent of what she can do and bring. But Nia's just on a roll. Trish is trying. It seems like both of them together may not be enough. I mean, Nia and Candice might win this Saturday because who's stopping Nia right now?
That's very true.
And if regardless, Charlotte's loving it because Tiffany's getting hot going to WrestleMania.
Next up, we had what everybody thought and assumed was going to be a wrestling match. We thought it was going to be Liv versus Naomi. Turned out to be an all-out beatdown. Attacking during the entrance, everything from Liv and Raquel on Bianca and Naomi. What do you think of this? And is this message sent for Monday night for costing Raquel for Elimination Chamber qualifier?
Yes, it was. It most definitely was. It was payback. They struck them first. We know how the Judgment Day is. We know how they are. It's gonna be a war anytime. And yeah, this was just a point. It was like you said, you screwed Raquel out of that match. It was a beatdown, and they made, I think, message received. Very dominant message by Liv and Raquel.
Next up, we had Pretty Deadly against DIY, and this match would end in no contest, and we would see a bunch of interferences. We would see the Street Profits. We would see the Machine Gun. Just an all-out tag team brawl. What do you think of this, and where do you think this is leading?
I think this, you talk about ladder match. I mean, last year WrestleMania, we had a fair four-way tag team ladder match. We could be seeing a similar trend this year or some kind of multi-team match. But for Profits, Dawkins has alluded that he's short, and when he's back, they actually want the smoke. They've been kind of on, before that, they were in a drought, and it looks like they're putting that behind them. They're just taking matters into their own hands. They're not waiting to be given an opportunity. They're just taking opportunities. No one is going to, in the Prophet's eyes, no one is going to beat DIY for those titles except them, because DIY took them out.
Yes, that's true. And I really like what I'm seeing. I love the aggressive style we're seeing from the Prophets, too.
Yeah, they're awesome. We know they can go, and everyone's being reminded of that right now.
Next up, we had our big main event. We had Solo and Jacob Fatu against Braun Strowman and Damian Priest. And we saw some miscommunication between Jacob Fatu and Solo. Do you think this is leading to possibly a WrestleMania match between both of them? And what a huge victory it was for Damian Priest and Braun Strowman. Where do you see them going next?
Well, we know Priest has all eyes on the Elimination Chamber for a shot at WrestleMania. Strowman said, had it not been for Solo, that would have been him. And but they put the difference aside. They were more of a cohesive unit than the Bloodline. Miscommunication. Jacob hit Solo before the match. Very interesting. He puts his hand on Solo and says, "No, play my music." And they go out there to Fatu, which I mean, it was Solo. Before the Netflix wall was the Tribal Chief, and that he would have never done that. But he feels, I think, abandoned by Solo. And yeah, I think we do. I think we might see Jacob and Solo at WrestleMania, which I'm hoping, because dang, sign me up for that.
Yes, I'm with you. I'd love to see that match. I think Jacob Fatu has just been amazing in his short time in WWE, and he's just a phenomenal athlete. Like, the man can do everything, especially for his size. It's insane.
That is. And before we go on with normal stuff, I have a question for you of something that happened on NXT that will be for this upcoming week. When what do you think when the No Quarter Catch crew called out the Hardys right here?
Yep,
only to be answered to see the Hardys in a WWE wing next Tuesday on NXT for Matt Hardy the first time since March of 2020, and for Jeff Hardy the first time since December of 2021.
It's insane. It really is. It's crazy. And we're most definitely going to talk about the match when it happens this upcoming week on Tuesday. But I'm hoping, and I sure know you are hoping, that this leads to more Hardy Boy appearances in WWE NXT, possibly maybe WWE Raw or SmackDown. They are, like No Quarter Catch Crew said, in their opinion, they're the tag team to go after, because they're the greatest tag team possibly of all time.
And it's hard to argue that, especially our generation growing up. Loving the Hardy Boys. And yeah, I mean, we know they're both near 50, but you would not tell. I mean, even now you see some of the highlights in TNA, see what they can do. They can go. And what crowd does not love the Hardy Boys? Anytime that music hits, the crowd erupts. And as a Hardy Boys diehard fan, I cannot wait to see them Tuesday night.
Oh, and speaking of Tuesday night, I have asked you about this match. It is in Cincinnati. That is Lexis King's home city. He is taking on X Division champion Moose for the X Division title. How do you think that match is going to go, and are you excited for that one?
Yes, I'm excited for that because he pointed out, he said, so when do we start getting, Lexus King said, when do we get an opportunity at your guys' titles when it seems like you want to come over here? And he said, I beat your boy, JDC Fandango, to keep my cup last week. And he said, Moose said, you can have this anytime you want. I'll give you a shot at this. And yeah, Lexus King said he has never lost a match in Cincinnati. Well, that was most definitely getting put to you for test this Tuesday night, and I cannot wait to see it.
That's gonna be a good one. Now we have a lot of matches up for match of the week. I'm also going to say, pointed out the triple threat, that Carmen Petrovich one. Pointed out the 6-woman tag team main event on NXT. I'll point out Penta against Pete Dunne, because Penta's been performing each and every week, putting on really, really good matches. And I'm going to point out the Seth and Finn Balor, because I thought that was an amazing match. And then on SmackDown, I'm going to go with Jimmy versus Drew. Really good match. I just love seeing them two hook up together. It's a hard-hitting match. A lot of excitement, a lot of finishers hit. You even have Uso in the wind, as they call it, hit.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to point out the main event tag team match that we had. Jacob Fatu and Solo against Priest and Strowman.
And you had NXT ones too, you want to get to, right?
Yeah, the women's triple threat.
Yes.
Yeah, and the 6-woman main event tag team match. Yep. It was really good. Thinking about it, I think I'm going to have to go with that Finn Balor Seth Rollins match, because when you have two athletes the caliber of them and there's no interferences, there was nothing to it. It was just them two straight up, and you're going to be hard to find any match as good as putting Finn and Seth together in a straight up match with no interferences.
Agreed.
So I'm going to go with that. And for my MVP of the week, it's tough, but because of the big victory and the path that his brother Jey Uso's been on, I'm going to go with MVP of the week. I'm going to go with Jimmy Uso. I think he's starting to make a way for himself. I really do. You see the little promo he did before the match. He's creating his own style. He's putting his own, Mike Walken, his own style of promo, different than the Yeet, because Jay talks, he does the Yeet and he talks his style, but Jimmy talks a completely different style. You would never really get that trend. He's doing his own promo, his own style, and he picked up a huge victory over Drew McIntyre. So Jimmy Uso is my MVP of the week.
It's a great pick, great MVP. And there's something I have to say, we almost forgot about this, a huge thing to talk about. And I ask you, what do you think about The Rock's proposition to Cody Rhodes on SmackDown?
You're completely right. Yeah, we did. We saw The Rock come out and pretty much want what seems like he wants. Well, he says Cody's so.
Yeah, and I just want to know, what does he mean by that? Because Cody is being that John Cena, being that Stone Cold of generation before. He's on the talk shows, on the radio shows. He's going always promoting the company. He's being that workhorse face of a company champion. But what does The Rock mean?
I don't know. I think it's what you're saying. He's doing all of that stuff, but he's doing it Cody's way. I think The Rock kind of wants him almost kind of like a corporate style. I think he wants for for business suit, for all business, everywhere he goes. I think he wants him. He is the company guy, as you say right now, but I think The Rock wants him as a different company guy. I think he wants him go around business, corporate, be the WWE's guy. Not he's trying to be the WWE's guy where the fans love him, this and that, and he's cracking jokes. But I think The Rock wants him be all business, get down to business, make his appearance, move on, make his next appearance, not take so much time with the fans. I think The Rock's trying to create his own corporate champion almost with Cody Rhodes. And to that point, do you think Cody's going to take Rock up on the offer, or do you think the fans mean too much?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you're right. I think he wants to mold him in his own image. Maybe even take some liberties to keep the championship like Vawak would and has in the past.
That's true.
But I don't think so. I don't think Cody's gonna sell his soul out to Vawak. I don't. Cody's done things his way. We've seen that. I mean, leaving the company, doing his own thing, coming back. The man has done things his own way, and I don't see him accepting Vawak's offer myself.
But it's very interesting. We're going to see Vawak at the Elimination Chamber. So
Yeah.
this upcoming Saturday, we are going to see the great one, Dwayne Johnson, Vawak, at Elimination Chamber again. This is really cool, and I think this is going somewhere. And it seems like he's going to have even more that he wants to offer Cody and more for Cody to possibly do.
Yeah, I'm with you. I cannot wait. Just for chamber matches. Then Vawak is a stacked show. It's going to be fun.
Hey, real quick, you get to your throwback match of the week, and then we'll run over some chamber predictions.
Okay. So this one's almost 15 years ago in a couple months. I want you to go back to April 26th, 2010 to the WB Draft show, which is, I mean, a draft show is always fun, especially back then. They did it way that they don't do it anymore. Always fun. I remember watching this live, and you got all of your picks out way, and then you had this main event. Who's going to challenge John Cena at Over the Limit for the WWE Championship? After the night before, he had just beat Batista in Last Man Standing match. You had Batista wanting another shot, saying duct tape, saying John Cena cheated, beat them. You had Randy Orton just coming off of a loss to Jack Swagger. And then you had the man with all the momentum at this time, Sheamus, just beating Triple H, which would be the last time we saw Triple H for almost a year. And you had a great triple threat match. And then, surprisingly, which I was shocked by, you had the just drafted to Raw Edge come in, take out Randy Orton, set Batista up for what would be Batista's last match in almost 4 years, last shot at the title and last match in general. And yeah, and fun fact, there's also Edge's last heel turn until 2022 due to the injury and stuff and due to how it was there. But yeah, great match, fun watching it live, and yeah, I highly recommend it. A lot of stories, a lot of stuff was going on in that match.
I agree with you. That's an awesome match. So far we have 4 matches on the Elimination Chamber card. I'm going to start off with, who do you have? Stratton and Trish, or Nia and Candice LeRae?
And so far we have not seen them find a way to stop Nia, but he is the women's WWE champion. He is Trish Stratus in her hometown of Toronto. I think where there's a will, there's a way, and they are going to stop this dominance from Nia and Candice at Chamber. So I have to go with Tiffany and Trish.
I agree with you. I'm going with Tiffany and Trish. I think Stratton knows she needs this momentum heading into WrestleMania against Charlotte, and she also needs to put this behind her because she needs focus on Charlotte right now. Charlotte's getting the last laugh without even doing anything right now.
That's true. She does need to put Nia on the back burner.
Next up, we have that unsanctioned match, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. You said you're going with Kevin Owens?
Yes, I have to. Sami is a great performer, but we know what lows Kevin Owens is willing to go at, and shots he's willing to take, and there's no woes, there's no anything. He can do whatever he wants.
That's true. I'm going with Kevin Owens too, and I also think, I don't know if it will be a deciding factor in the match, but I do think we'll see something with Kelly and Cross possibly doing something to Sami, or helping or sabotaging some way, and I don't think that story is anywhere close to being over yet.
I agree with you. I was thinking about that. Kelly and Cross seems to have a very personal vendetta towards Sami Zayn, and really, I just wonder where that's coming from. Just out of the blue, it's just like Cross has just picked out Sami for some reason.
Next up, we have our women's elimination chamber match. We have Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. Who do you have in this one?
Wow, this is extremely tough, but I think Bianca's going to pick up this win. I mean, when's the last time Bianca's had a singles gold NWE And I mean, just think about that. I mean, any result would be awesome. But could you imagine Bianca and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania? That says WrestleMania
It
to
does.
me all day.
That says possible main event of one of the nights. And you know, because of that, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with that as well. I'm going with Bianca for that one. I'll go with Bianca with you. I think so. That just says a main event on any show.
It does.
Next up, we have John Cena vs. CM Punk vs. Drew McIntyre vs. Logan Paul vs. Damian Priest vs. Seth Rollins.
Well, this is so tough because now you've thrown in a whole monkey wrench in this whole thing, because now The Rock is getting involved, and if Cody does not want to give him his show, I think The Rock's going to go for the next best thing, the next available show. I think he's going to go for whoever wins this match. And I don't know. I have a feeling that Drew McIntyre is going to win this match and possibly sell out to finally get his hands on what's been bugging him for so long now.
That's an interesting pick. That's an interesting pick. I like it. I'm going with, much like I did for Royal Rumble, I'm going with John Cena. I don't think he's going 0 of 2 on his try and come back, make his last run, and get that 17th world title. I don't think he's going 0 of 2. We know there's not many big game players like John Cena. It's hard bet against him.
Yeah, you're right. Big match, John. And John does win. We know he has a history of The Rock. I'd be very interested to see where that goes there. See what Cody does. See what role the final boss for playing to Road to WrestleMania.
That's very interesting. Thank you guys for joining us for this great show. And we'll see you next week on Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod.